Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
It's the Karen Hunter Show. We are here on SiriusXM Urban View where talk empowers and becomes action. You've seen the image. Black women sitting on a rooftop while the city burns, sipping their tea. One image, though, is not the original. I found the original. He has been out on the Instagram letting people know this was my work. This was my spirit, my heart. And I said, would you come on and share the dream and how this all came about? Let me welcome artist, author, animator extraordinaire, Mr. Navi Robbins. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Hi.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. You know what I love? First of all, that you're a brother that felt a thing and then produced this. Because when you see that image, I feel what you were, no words needed. I feel it. So walk us through how this great piece of art came to be.
Well, I'm an avid VP Harris supporter, right? And this is the first time in my life that I actually was deeply embedded in the political process, not just running my mouth, but actually boots on the ground, using my platform, interviews and things like that. And I let myself to believe. I did. I have a hard time believing in the spirit of this nation. I'm not gonna hold you. And I was just like, but I'm gonna believe because I was on the call with black men for VP Harris. I donated. I was on the call for white dudes for VP Harris, right? And I'm listening to these white men talk about how excited they are and they're ready. And then on November 5th,
Don't remind me. I've been in another place. Yes.
So on my 10-year-old daughter Eden, she was, excited, and she was like, please wake me up in the morning because I can't wait to, scream a black woman as president. When I woke up the next morning, I had to tell her, no, baby. And she was heartbroken, and I dropped her off at school. And to watch how, because she's a morning person, she's excited, she's happy when she gets up in the morning, but her spirits was low. So when I came home, I was feeling just like she was. And I just started creating. Initially, it was, I wanted to put black men and black women on that roof. But I thought about it, and I was like, black women actually been leading the charge in politics since Al Gore. And truthfully, as a black man, I have to be honest and say that our political presence has been diminishing year over year. So it's like, this was black woman's moment. VP Harris was black woman's moment. Her message was black woman's moment, the feeling. So it was just right for me to put for a black woman on this roof, but to dress them and relax and they're in their natural state, right? I don't have a problem. You can wear whatever hairstyle you want. You're beautiful. But I felt like it's like you're at home, you relax, you don't have to put on a facade for the world. You could just put on these nice gowns, the muumuu or whatever, and your hair is out. You don't have to worry about anything. And you just sit back and you watch America get what it paid for. And it just came out. And when I was done, I wasn't trying to monetize it or anything. I just put it up on social media to kind of share with other black women that I am mutuals with, that I have, that I was working with it during this campaign, to say, I'm not a black woman, but I feel what you're going through. See, I can feel it.
Let me just, first of all, you're everything. Because when I imagine community, this is it. I feel what you feel, even if I'm not you. We should be able to feel what other people feel, even if we're not them, and speak to it. You spoke to it. Navi, you spoke to it. And I've been unbothered ever since. It gave me permission to sip my tea and mind my business. I promise you, it was almost like a rallying cry in many
Mm-hmm.
ways. What we're not going to do is
Just get
be
involved.
bothered. Yes, we're not going to get
Yes.
involved at that level. So I thank you for that. So then to see this thing spread and it spread, and then to see the other image with the 92%, I was like, okay, which one what's the original? Like I had to fish. When you started to see the other image, your image mirrored and, you know, I want to say duplicated, but not really imitated. What
Mhm.
what did you feel in that moment? And they were monetizing.
Yeah. My initial reaction was, Erica Badu-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, sensitive. But
yeah,
then,
yes.
like I said, initially it wasn't for monetization. It was just kind of like community. Hey, sisters, I'm with you. And so the person who created it reached out to me,
Okay.
and Nikki reached out to me, had a phone conversation, and even some other content creators, large content creators, like, I'll take it down. And I was like, my initial purpose of this was for this image to go and spread so that we can share in this moment of how we feel about something. And so I was like, I won't be arrogant enough to tell you to take something down off of here. Now, if someone would have copied this absolutely directly, that's something totally different. Yeah, take that down because this is copywritten, somebody going to jail. But with that, it was like the inspiration behind it, I don't have an issue. And then speaking with Nikki and everything else, and we ironed everything out, I didn't have an issue with it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then some people close to me was like, you need to put this on t-shirts, you need to make prints,
Yes.
because it wasn't
Yes.
the initial response for me. And
Right.
I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I have mugs now, I have
Yes. I
prints,
see. I see.
laptop cases and things like that. I got hoodies and
Yeah.
sweatshirts and things like that. I do have pillows, throw pillows and
Yes,
stuff
you
like
do have
that.
pillows. I see the pillows. I mean, I'm gonna get me a pillow.
You said, but
Um,
give me.
yeah, I'm gonna get me a pillow. And you have another thing that I think is beautiful. If Noah was a woman, she
Yeah.
would be black. Sir, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that was the initial, because although some people misinterpret this as if I'm telling Black people or Black women to just allow it all to go up in smoke, if you allow me, the thing is America needs to learn a lesson. And every time Black people get involved, every time we start to advocate and protest, it's no longer an American problem. It becomes a Black problem. And so those who need to actually be paying attention turn off the television, or it becomes, look at these thugs burning down cities, look at these thugs not being satisfied. So my thought process is, you need to see yourself out there, not us. We have to completely just, if you're unhappy with how it's going, you need to go out there. Because when we go out there, we get martyred. No one actually pays attention to the things that's happening to this country until Black lives are lost. Then they be like, oh my God, this is horrible. We need to change. But not until a vast amount of us need to lose our lives. It's been across the board with us. And I'm tired of seeing our people martyred, our greats no longer here. And we're still dealing with the same thing that Brother Malcolm and Martin and them are dealing
Right.
with. We're right back here again, and it's because everyone is so trained to not like Blackness that when we get involved, it's no longer their problem.
Right.
We're just
But
complaining.
I think it's deeper, and there's a little beep that's coming from your computer. We're talking with Navi Robbins, Nav as in Victor, Rob as in boy, In as in Nancy, S.net is where you can go see Navi's greatness. I think we also, unfortunately, and this is kind of the drum beat that I'm beaten here on these airways, we're all Martins and Malcolms and Fannies and Ida B. Wells. It's all of our responsibilities. We're all Mary McLeod Bethunes and Nanny Helen Burroughs. We are all responsible for doing something. So that way we don't abdicate our power to one person and they take that person out and then the stuff doesn't get continued. When a nurse called up earlier and I was like, you started a program, did you have a succession plan? What was it, something that, and she's like, no, I got busy with life or what have you. And that's natural and normal. But when we do a thing, we need to do a thing for the duration, which means that we need to train up several people. When I sit here on these airwaves, there's a reason why Urban View sounds the way it does. I've already picked the person that will sit in this seat, and they're already on the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you have to be able to do that, or it doesn't, what's the point? What's the point in being great unto yourself? That's a very, to me, that's a very narcissistic, egotistical, venture if it's about you. You must duplicate yourself. You must duplicate yourself. And we don't do a good job of that. We find somebody that's really great, and then we all like jump on and not that any of those individuals wanted to be in that position, because I'm sure they wanted to live their lives too. But nobody was doing it. We all need to roll up our sleeves so the burden isn't heavy.
I agree. Yeah, and again, that's for me. I'm like, the martyrdom has to stop with us, right? Like, I think that at this point, we need to stop looking for a Messiah and get behind an idea, because ideas are bulletproof. Ideas are bulletproof.
Say it again, one more time. Ideas are what?
Bulletproof.
Okay.
Ideas are bulletproof, and because they get rid of us, and then once the leader is gone, then the movement falters. But if we can get behind an idea, regardless of who may be the loudest in the room, you can't get rid of that idea.
Ashe. Tell me about you, Navi Robbins. Where you from? Who are your peoples? How'd you become this person?
Born in Chicago, 1974. I know I don't look it, but I am 50. Born in Chicago, 1974.
You don't look it. You do not. Oh.
And I'm the son of revolutionary parents. I'm the son of revolutionary. So when I was 10, moved overseas to Africa, Liberia, and lived outside of the United States for majority of my childhood life.
What did you learn? What did you learn? The first, and why Liberia?
My mom got a job working as a college administrator at Connington College in Bone County. The very first thing I learned was reality isn't as what you think it is. There are certain things that happen in other countries that you wouldn't dream. There are certain things that happen in Africa that, you definitely, humility is key. Humility is key. Africa taught me.
Like what? Like what?
You won't survive in Africa if you're an arrogant person. You definitely have to open yourself up to learning how to survive, especially in Liberia in 1984, 1985. Lights, you might get lights a couple of days, a month, no running water. You have to rely on the indigenous people, and you have to be kind. You have to be patient, and resilience is extremely important. Those are the things that I learned, but, humility, you have to be able to learn and to ask questions appropriately. And yeah, I was 10 years old when I went. And a little scrawny boy with a big old afro, golden afro. And the first time I had to go get water from the creek that was 2 miles away from the house, that was a rude awakening. Like, I couldn't believe, you from Chicago, you hit the faucet. That's it. No, you get this big 5-gallon bucket, metal, and I had two, and I had to go to the creek, dip them in the creek. First of all, what is a creek, right? I'm from Chicago. What is a creek?
right.
No, you watching movies. There's something in that water, and you got to lean down, grab the bucket. And I'm scrawny. I'm not, my muscle mass isn't there because I'm 10. I'm used to playing with Star Wars figures and with the Kung Fu grip. I don't know. So I'm just, I'm struggling. But eventually, the muscle mass got there, and we started getting used to it. But yeah, humility, because if you take what you think from America and you take it over that it's a rude awakening. And the African people just sit back and watch you make a fool of yourself.
They sitting on the roof sipping their tea.
Yes, they are watching you
Yes.
burn. Watching like
Yes.
we've told him. We told him he did not believe us. So here you go. Look at that Peking man. Look at him. He looking stupid. That, I'm gonna tell you
Hilarious.
this. My mother, when we get off the airplane, first thing they stole our luggage. Right. That's another lesson of humility, right? Because you do not want to be yelling and screaming in the airport with these armed guards. It's not. But we walk out. They say they're gonna reimburse us. We walk out, surrounded by Liberian people. My mother looks over to the right and she sees something climbing the tree. She said, "Oh, look, Navi." My older brother, look, there's a monkey climbing the tree. I look, and the monkey got on clothes. I'm like, Mom, that is not a monkey. That is a little boy. Those Liberian people was like, what did that? What did she say? She called the boy a monkey? Oh, I was like, you about to get us killed. Right now, we just walking out of the airport. We haven't even stepped into Liberia. You already calling somebody child a monkey. I guess she couldn't quite see, but I'm
Right.
like, Mom, like he got on bright red shorts.
Oh my God. So you went to school, Navi,
Yeah.
in Liberia?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Monrovia?
Monrovia. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Monrovia.
Interesting about, Liberia, that we sent formerly enslaved people to colonize a place in Africa and displace the people that were already there. Lord have mercy. And then sent black people to do that. How did you navigate that, coming like almost like a twice fried person, because now you're Black American,
Yeah.
but those are your cousins, really. Those are your descendants. I mean, your ancestors. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
It
wild.
it is extremely wild. Because when we got there, Samuel Kayando was president. He had just enacted the coup a few years before. And though it was a military government, and while living in Liberia, I lived through four coups and
Wow.
became a prisoner of war and a child soldier during the Liberian War. That's a whole other story.
Have you
But
written about this? Wait, I need. Is
I'm
this a
working
made
on
for
my
TV movie? Navi.
I'm working on my autobiography.